Look, I can't help but think that now might be a good time for a little fire and ice.
Please do not know. There's never a good time for fire and ice.
What happens when you mix fire and ice?
Warm water, baby.
It's bubbling, baby. Warm water. Warm water.
It is a Saturday afternoon, and that means it is time for a little fire and ice coming at you live over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. We will get into the specials here in just a little bit, Brandon, but we have to address the reason why we were absent last week and an issue that we had. There's no easy way to say this, but our engineer, our friend, you'd hear his voice every now and then on the show as well, asking us a bunch of questions, hating on the Dallas Cowboys was his main thing. But our guy, Daver, passed away tragically. Now going on, I guess, a week and a half ago. It was literally the Sunday after our last fire and ice. We get a phone call that Daver was in the hospital. He held on for a couple of days, but ultimately succumbed to his condition that he had at that point in time. Just devastating for us, devastating for the radio community here in El Paso, Texas as well. I remember the very first time I met Daver, which I'm sure a lot of people would remember the very first time they met Daver. Yeah. I was getting my fob to be able to, enter the building over at KLAQ, Town Square Media. And he had a fob, but he was like, instead of giving it to me, he kept moving his hand away. I was like, well, it's not working right now. I'm like it'll be ready in a few minutes, and he just kept like the hurricane. It was full hurricane David.
Yeah.
And I looked and was like, would it be better if I just go to the other studio and you got time? Yes, please. Awesome.
Everybody has a Daver story, and I was blessed to know him for well over 20 years, and I'll never forget being on the road with UTEP women's basketball, and he was trying to troubleshoot something, and he was being, Daver with the high-pitched voice and getting frustrated. And I'll never forget the other fella who did play-by-play for Louisiana Tech said to me, "Is that guy okay?" He said, "Boy, he sounds a little bit." I'm like, well, Daver gets really, really intense. So everybody has a Daver story. Everybody absolutely. He was one of the most beloved individuals because not only was he so unique and caring, but if you ever had an issue, he would be there, boom, in the blink of an eye. And that's why he was so well loved and respected. And the greatest thing ever was when he retired about 3-4 years ago. He came to us and he wanted to see how our podcast worked. And he loved it so much that he became our permanent engineer. And we'll never forget him. He will forever be loved in our hearts. And Daver, thank you for everything that you ever did for us. And we were his extended family here, and the feeling was mutual, as much love as we had for him and he had for us. So we were blessed to have him.
1,000,000%. And one of the cool things is that in this, last chapter of life for Daver, post-retirement and all that we were able to become like a little safe, a place that he looked forward to be.
Absolutely.
Was a part of this silly little thing that you and I have done
for
a while now. But it's not the same. No. Like there was this, super heavy feeling coming in here today. But the one thing that we do know is no matter what, Daver would want us to continue doing the show. I think the last thing he would want is for us to not do anything.
No.
Because he loved broadcast and radio and podcasting so much. And to tell you all about the brilliant mind that Daver had, he was able to build an entire studio at iHeartRadio whenever we were going to take Fire and Ice over there to iHeartRadio, that brief-lived time of ours.
Yes.
He was able to build an entire studio in less than a week.
Yeah.
And it worked well. It sounded great. Just the brilliant mind that he had. Kevin Vargas, our former GM over at Town Square Media, said it best that this world is a much less interesting place now.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he just had that mind where if there was an issue, he would completely find some sort of a solution for it. And like I said, I mean, it's very rare in life that you find someone who's as reliable and as dedicated as he was. The fact that he constantly just was here every single week, always addressing, always troubleshooting. And when in post-retirement, a lot of people would say you need a purpose, obviously, in life. And boy, I tell you what, thank God that we were able to find each other and reunited. I always said it was like a KROD reunion of the three of us, and it was a match made in heaven. And he absolutely loved being a significant part of this broadcast, and of course the post grease. And I mean, it just gave him something to look forward to every week, and it gave us something to look forward to, seeing our best friend and giving him a hug and just telling him how grateful we were for him. And people like that are truly never forgotten, and their lasting legacy will live on forever, and his lasting legacy will indeed.
It was touching, getting in contact with Daver's family and stuff. And I apologize, everyone, like it is a little heavy, but this was definitely not something we expected. And obviously, 71 years on this earth, maybe it should be something that people expect, but he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And seeing the comfort it brought his brother Alan, his sister Marcia, knowing that Daver was so well respected and well loved here in El Paso, being so far away from Allentown, Pennsylvania, that brought, some happiness to me in such a dark time. And I know it had to have brought happiness to his brother Alan as well.
No, and absolutely, and I'm really glad. I mean, under the circumstances, unfortunately, I got to finally meet his brother, and the look on his face was just tremendous when he saw us going to see him in the hospital. And just really the awe in his eyes of the fact that he was such a beloved individual and such a significant person, the life that he had created in El Paso, Texas, of all places, being so far away from, Pennsylvania, and the fact that he was here for well over 20 years, and, the love, that's the thing. That's, you think about, someone he'd never been here before. It was his first time ever in El Paso, and he was just like, I'm just taken back. And that to me was like, I'm just so glad I get to meet you and tell you how much we love your brother. That's all, so.
Our buddy Daver, we love you. We miss you. And obviously, we're going to keep doing as much as we can without you. Like, even coming in today, I was like, holy shit.
I know.
Like I missed something. I missed something that Daver would have never missed.
Yeah.
So I had to go buy an electrical cord.
I know. Never would have missed. And then he would have been the first person under that table.
1,000%.
He would have been here at 11 o'clock, bawling us out for not being here on time. And where the hell's Tip? Where's Tip? Call Tip. Top. Okay, leave Tip alone. The tipster, as he famously called you. But, he was our ace in the hole. And you know what? Again, I try to look at the silver lining in everything in life. Boy, were we blessed for the last few years that he followed us. We were at Union, we were here, and of course, places on the east side, all over the city. Remember the broadcast for the Stealth?
Yeah,
he was there. He was there for every single significant thing we've done. At least 3 years, right?
It's got to be more than that.
Maybe 4.
Even whenever he was at KLAQ still, he would come and help us out.
So, I mean, we were blessed,
whenever I first started, like I came back to El Paso, and I first started emceeing Dallas Cowboys games over on the east side of El Paso at Undisputed Craft House. One of the first people that went out there to just cheer me on, and it was just so great, was Daver, who couldn't care less about the Dallas Cowboys, didn't really care much about football at the time, but still went out there, made that drive, lives on the west side of El Paso, made that 35 to 45-minute drive out over to the east side of El Paso just to support me in being an MC for Dallas Cowboys games. And that shows you the type of person that Daver was, that he would just he always wanted to support his friends. And that's going to be his everlasting legacy.
Absolutely. And that's why his friends will always remember him and remember the love that he always gave, and certainly the dedication that he was just always the man that you knew was not only going to make you laugh and be a trip sometimes, but I'll tell you what, he was a unique individual. He was one of the most unique individuals I've ever met in my time on this 47 years on this planet, and my life is certainly has been better having been such a great friend of his for so many years.
Exactly. There's obviously no easy transition for what it is that we've got to do today. But Brandon, we are once again live out here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso. We have some of the best wings that you can get in the city of El Paso. I will stand on business with that. Let everybody know about some of the specials that they've got working today.
All righty. So get this, happy hour, of course. We have 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, then late night, 9 to 11, $2 off all tall drafts margaritas, $2 signature cocktails, $3 shorty shots, $5 classic cocktails, $6 appetizers. They're wonderful. The buffalo chicken dip, the fried pickles, the hatch queso, bacon cheddar, jumbo bites or jumbo tots, whatever the heck they are. Get your jumbo tot. Mozzarella sticks, onion rings, pretzel knots, the whole 9 yards, man. Come on over to B-Dubs. Obviously, you got the World Cup. You got a little horse racing here. You got baseball. You got UFC. What the heck is it? Actually UFC 250 tomorrow
Yeah.
in DC? It's going to be huge with old boy Trump.
I'm not the only one saying it. Many people are saying it.
It's going to be the biggest UFC in history. We're going to commemorate our 250th birthday.
It really looks like, Brandon, whenever I looked at the pictures of that UFC ring at the White House, like the most redneck thing I'd ever seen. And it's at the effing White House, man.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, good for them. I'm really happy about this. Some people think it's cheesy, but I'm okay with it. 4,000 seats and then another 25,000, I think, watching really close to the White House. I think it's great. I mean, we all know how big of a fan Trump is and big of UFC and great friends with. He is. He's great friends with Dana White. You see him a lot of these shticks. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that eyebrow, man. I know you.
Oh, I mean,
he is. He's a huge fan of UFC.
He's not.
Yes,
he's
he
a
is.
fucking Johnny Come Lately.
Okay, whatever. I think he's a fan of this freaking sport, dude. He's there a lot.
Recently, because that's his fan base.
He's been there for years, man. He was there in 2020 when there was no one there.
Again, it's his fan base. It's his voter base. Like, of course he's going to be there for those people. I didn't mean it that way. You know what I meant. But
whatever.
The fact of the matter is that from 2001 to about 2017, he did nothing with the UFC.
Well, but now he cares about it. So that's all that counts. What have you done for me lately? Money. It's
a grift.
Huge.
It's all a grift.
I like this shtick. Look, you call it a publicity stunt to UFC 250 at the White House. I think it's great. I'm excited for that tomorrow night. I am.
Isn't there like an F1 race there, or is it an IndyCar race that's in DC this weekend as well?
Indy, I think, or something.
Okay.
I'd have to do my research, but I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be such a big card tomorrow night too. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be phenomenal to see a fucking octagon on the lawn of the White House.
I think it's great. First of all, have you ever been to the White House?
I have.
It's great, isn't it?
It is. It is cool. Absolutely. But I saw it before, construction zone White House.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just me
the White House before.
You've been inside the White House?
Inside the White House. I had a private tour of the White House.
Wow, look at you, Brandon, the dignitary cone.
2002.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I knew some people that got us a private tour. That was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Actually, looking out onto Pennsylvania Avenue from the White House. I mean,
Did you get to go in like the Oval Office or anything?
No.
Or was it just?
Jesus, sorry.
So why are you yelling at me?
The Oval Office, they didn't, allow us to go in there, but we were in some of the most significant rooms where the state dinners are. Where, when President Lincoln and President Kennedy had passed away, where they lied in state. We got a pretty darn good tour inside the White House. That was pretty impressive, I got to admit.
I'm going to check that out now. One of these days, I'm going to just have to go to the White House and see kind of how it goes.
Hey, man, they could host a tipster and be very happy about that, knowing that you're actually there in the White House.
Just the tip of the White House? I'll just stand out on the lawn?
It's just the tip of the White House. Who doesn't like the tip of the White House?
I mean, many people are saying... okay, so you're the guy who is our UFC person.
Yes.
Ashley's saying he's not a fan. He's just here to hear the cheers from his base. But there's been a slight shift, more fighters speaking out. Of course, not without pushback from 47. I mean, of course. But you are our UFC guy. You love watching the UFC.
I do.
That's what you and 47 have in common, is just your love of UFC and amazing hair. Now, tell me a little bit about what's going on in this card, because I'm not a UFC guy, so I don't know.
It's a stacked card. It's a stacked card. You're looking at the main card that consists of 7 fights. And it starts at 6 tomorrow. So, first of all, you got what I'm really excited about is, Derek Lewis. Guy's amazing. The Black Beast. He's tremendous. He's fighting in the, 4th fight from the main event. That's going to be a great. And then, of course, the co-main to the co-main is Sean O'Malley is on that card. And I'm going to be extremely excited because O'Malley is such a great talent in the UFC. The co-main, you have Alexis Pereira. He is actually going to be taking on my eyes aren't what they used to be. Navajo Sterling. Again, that's going to be tremendous. That's going to be really, really awesome. I'm excited about that one. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be, to me, one of the best cards of the year because of all the big names you have. And then, of course, Justin Gaethje, the main event. I love him in this one, 27-5. He's going to be tremendous. You have so many big names on this card, and rightfully so, because of the fact that it is a very historic card, being at the White House, being there for our number 47, as you said. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
you gotta love. You're gonna watch it all.
I'm
just because it's there.
No,
I
know
you don't like UFC, but just to see.
And if I'm not mistaken, my Vegas Golden Knights are going to be in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, and they are down 3-2 right now. So I got to support my hockey team, my very successful Vegas Golden Knights, and everything that they've done to bring me happiness, while the San Antonio Spurs are doing everything they can to bring sadness into my world, Brandon. We all saw Game 4, at least I hope you saw Game 4 of the NBA Finals, where the San Antonio Spurs had, and again, this is weird for me to say, the largest blown lead in the history of the NBA playoffs or finals, second largest blown lead in the history of the NBA playoffs, going all the way back to like the 1940s, right? So the Spurs out here doing phenomenal things to help, make me happy. Whenever a team loses a 29-point lead, the onus normally gets put on them, right? Like, oh, you did this, you should have been better at this. Let's give a little bit of love to the New York Knicks, Brandon.
Amazing comeback. And I mean, obviously, in order to come back from 29 points, everything has to be absolutely perfect. And at the end of that game, the stars aligned for them, where you weren't supposed to take a worthless shot and try and go for the silly layup. You were supposed to try and get fouled or dribble it out. Terrible mistake. They got out coached. No doubt they got out coached down the stretch in the end. But I mean, hey man, that put back with whatever, what was it, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, even less, no?
It was
1.2.
Yeah.
That was amazing, because how the hell do you out jump a 7.5 foot guy?
Well, okay, so
he was where his position was. I get it.
Yeah, Wemby was way out on the wing, which was a great, offensive strategy by the New York Knicks to have the switch where Wemby gets on Brunson. So now he's out of the paint. Brunson goes with the quick shot. But the thing is De'Aaron Fox, and again, this is going back to like just basketball basics. De'Aaron Fox needs to not go and, show a double team on Jalen Brunson. Mm-hmm. You have to trust the best defensive player in the NBA to contest that shot. And it's not like Brunson was going to be able to do a whole lot to try to get by him. Like getting by Wemby would have been so much more difficult than just putting the shot up. He makes that shot, fuck man, you live and die by it, right? Like that's fine. But you have to put a body on OG Anunoby, even if you just chip him, right? Just a little chip here and there, so that way he doesn't get a free run to the layup for the tip right there. I mean, that's basketball basics 101. I mean, they teach you that, youth leagues, 5-6-year-olds are learning that. If the guy puts up the shot, put a body on somebody.
You have to.
You don't need to, double team when your best defender's out there with a 1.5 foot height advantage on the next guy.
Yes.
Right? Like you got to be able to go out there and make the smart decisions. And the thing is De'Aaron Fox is the veteran presence on that team.
Yeah, he needs to know better.
He's 28 years old, which is wild that he's the oldest person on the Spurs, starting lineup, and they're the one that gets the majority of the minutes as an old head for them. That layup that he went to go do, stupid as all hell.
Yeah.
Dribble the ball out, take the ball out, make them foul you. You're an 85% free throw shooter. Get on the line, seal the game as best you can.
Absolutely, that's the only move to make.
Especially after blowing a 29-point lead.
He got greedy. He got greedy because he thought he had the beat on the defender.
He said that he thought he was faster.
Of course. I mean, that's stupid. I'm sorry. And I get it. Look, when the moment happens, it's very hard to determine what you're going to do or say what you're going to do, because it's an impulsive decision. It's like, hey, man, I'm faster. I'm going to score the layup. I'm going to put us up by 3, whatever. But then in retrospect, that was a horrible decision. Worst decision. If the Knicks win the championship, could be the worst decision in NBA history, arguably one of them, because they had that game in the bag. We know. And then,
it's going to be up there with like the Nick, I can't think of his name, old boy, Nick Anderson, missing the free throws in the NBA Finals as well.
Missed 4, right?
Yeah,
he missed 4, and then Houston came back to tie it with 3.
Yep.
And then they won in overtime.
Yep.
And the rest is history.
Exactly. And like it's going to be up there with that, like some of the biggest debacles in the history. And again, we are not used to the San Antonio Spurs being on the receiving end of that type of criticism, because they're such a well-ran, well-respected organization that whenever you see this happen with the San Antonio Spurs, you got to think to yourself, oh my God, what happened? I meant to get the clip. I didn't get the clip, but you can see after a layup made by the New York Knicks, I want to say the Knicks were up 104-103 at that point. It pans over to Mitch Johnson. The camera pans over to Mitch Johnson. And his eyes are so wide, you can tell he is being overcome by the moment.
Of course.
It took him 15 seconds to call a timeout.
Yeah.
And he was aided with it because New York had made substitutions. So they did all that. He should have just immediately called the timeout, calmed his team down. And again, Mitch Johnson, only 39 years old, super young coach in the NBA. He's going to learn. But to see a team have to go through these types of lumps, and the thing is the Spurs have had a double-digit lead in every single game.
Yeah. So much for that.
Late in the games.
Yeah.
And the thing is you're seeing where the youth comes in. again, they were up by 25 points at one point in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Shot 8 straight three-pointers with anywhere between 17 to 20 seconds left on the shot clock, not milking the shot at all, and made none of those three-pointers. That is a young team doing dumb stuff.
Yeah.
A veteran team, what do, Brandon?
They win the game.
They
easily.
step on your throat.
They do what they need to do to seal the deal. A great team seals a deal. Now, not saying this isn't a very, very good team, because you still can't take away from the fact that they made it to the finals. They dethroned the champions, okay? Is it all for none? Well, we know it ain't no thing without the ring, but in the end, the series is far from over. I mean, obviously, San Antonio's at home tonight. If they win, you go back to the Garden and see what happens.
So then you're thinking that the Spurs are going to win tonight?
Because
it would be huge for the Knicks to win in New York.
Absolutely. I think it's a distinct possibility, San Antonio, because of how they lost. It's like, hey, at least
they're going to come out wanting to make a statement.
You don't want to end the season on that horrible of a note, the bad taste you have in your mouth. You want to at least take it back to New York to have a chance to be like, hey, screw you, man. We're going to win on your court. You know what I mean?
And honestly, like if the Spurs somehow come back and get this to a Game 6, Game 7, it kind of gets that taste out of their mouth, right? Like they can lose in Game 7, and the what if might be there about Game 4, but it's not going to be as potent as if they lose tonight in Game 5 in San Antonio. But again, like I've said it this entire playoffs, the Knicks are a better team than people are giving them credit for. The Spurs aren't nearly as good as people think they are, and a lot of it comes down to the experience factor. And Augustine said on the show the other day that we can't say experience has anything to play with it because a lot of these guys have been playing since they were 5 years old and all that other nonsense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The fact of the matter is that there is a big experience factor here. De'Aaron Fox, this is only his second ever time in the playoffs. The rest of the San Antonio Spurs, outside of like the Harrison Barnes and Mason Plumlee, who don't get any action at all, this is their first time in the playoffs. That playoff experience matters a lot.
Hell yeah, it does. Absolutely. Look, if you don't have that experience and you're just going in blind, there's nothing that you can do that's going to obviously give you that invaluable experience, which clearly the New York Knicks do have over the Spurs in that respect. But I mean, that's the thing, is that it's a different ball game once you get to the finals. It's a completely different game. What can you obviously compare it to if you've never been there before? And that's the thing, is that this is a different kind of pressure. Ultimately, it's a kind of pressure that you are not prepared for, to try to win a championship. And that's what makes it such a challenging situation for them.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens with the Spurs going into tonight's game. Like, how do they come out of the gates following that embarrassment, right? Because it is the type of game that makes or breaks a team. If they come out tonight and they're just flat and they just roll over and let New York win, then it means next year for the Spurs is going to be even worse, because there's no fight left in this dog. They have to come out tonight, in my opinion, as a Spurs fan, right? They have to come out tonight and punch the Knicks in the mouth.
They have to. They have to be and be extremely resilient in the respect that you're not going to give up a huge lead. You're not going to get momentum taken away from you. You're going to win in a dominant fashion. You're not going to sit there and let them come back like they have every freaking game.
But most importantly, what you have to do is you also have to make sure that Victor Wembanyama remembers that he's 7 foot effing 5.
Mm-hmm.
Get your big ass in the paint and start dominating somebody.
Be where you need to be.
Exactly. Like whenever you're being guarded by 6'1" Jose Alvarado, make sure you dominate them and say, you will never put that switch on me again.
Don't let them get the put back that ends up being the deciding factor in the game. You know what I mean? It's like, so, yeah, I mean, there was no excuse for that loss. But, I mean, unfortunately, bad losses happen, and that was just a terrible loss.
It really was. And, okay, so what are you expecting to see out of San Antonio?
I expect San Antonio to come out fast-paced. I expect them to take the lead early, to try to establish the dominancy of this game and, of course, be the aggressor throughout. I expect them to make the necessary defensive adjustments they need to. And, of course, obviously do a better job of guarding the paint and scoring in the paint. But, I mean, mostly, again, being able to play 4 full quarters of basketball, not 3.5 quarters.
Or 2, like it was last week.
Because I was texting you at halftime, and I'm like, shit, thinking they got this in the bag. And I imagine you're like, hey, man, we're sitting pretty. And you seem confident. And I was like, damn, they look really, really good.
Yeah.
And then come the fourth quarter, I didn't even want to text you again because I knew you were sick to your freaking stomach, dude.
My buddy James Steele from up at ESPN Radio literally FaceTimed me afterwards and was like, dude, we got to take a shot or something because that was brutal to watch.
Yeah, it was tough.
So I was like, you know what? Thank you for being a friend.
It was tough.
The Golden Girls theme song was playing in the back. Thank you for being a friend.
Where's Betty White,
Okay, but like I agree with you. I feel like the Spurs had to come out with a little more fire. But on the flip side of that, if you're the New York Knicks and you come out here and you just dominate this game, you win your first championship for the city of New York in basketball since 1972, you are staring a chance at history right here.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you're the Knicks and you allow the San Antonio Spurs to come back and win this game in Game 5, does that get in your head a little bit? And to me, it depends on how this game plays out, right? Like if San Antonio comes out and actually gets a big lead, holds on to the lead, which is the thing we haven't seen them do in this NBA Finals so far, if San Antonio can do that, that's got to sit in the head of the Knicks because maybe they might have learned something. Game 6 is not like, yes, you're guaranteed a Game 7, but if you're New York and you lose Game 5 and you lose Game 6 and you have to have Game 7 in San Antonio, that would be a nightmare scenario. I fully expect them to want to shut the door today.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously, and that's the thing is that not only do you want to shut the door, and sure, I mean, obviously, hey, great to win at home and go crazy at home and have people be Meshuggah in New York, but you don't try to extend the series for any particular reason. You talk about a dominant win. How about the first time the Spurs won the championship? It was in New York. Okay, so how about a little payback and being able to give it to them right in the Stumgadi and winning in San Antonio
27 years later?
Yeah, that would be ironic, wouldn't it?
That would be great. Like honestly,
great.
it would be great. Like again, as Knicks fans would probably love that. But again, if they were able to clinch in New York, they win Game 6 in New York, that arena would be electric.
Electric, man. I mean, it would be the craziest sight that you've ever seen, the who's who, everybody there going ape shit.
And the thing is, with the way that the Spurs blew that lead, they can go up by 30 again. Oh, yeah. And we would still think, oh my God, like they're going to, like there's a way that they can lose this game. Like they have given everybody reason to doubt them.
No,
if you're the Spurs, you got to bounce back from this one and be like, look, man, we got to find a way to like crush their soul.
Absolutely.
Make the Knicks question some stuff.
And that's the thing is that a lot of the game is on top of, skill is psychology. So, I mean, if you're able to win 2 in a row, going back to New York, you're like, oh man, all of a sudden our insurmountable 2-0 lead is, we're going in tied and all that. And that's something to consider. We're down 3-2, I should take it, right? Mm-hmm. So, it's like, I would feel that at this particular point that it's a lot of it's momentum, a lot of it's psychological. They need to be careful. They need to be very careful under the circumstances.
The San Antonio Spurs. Again, like I hate that I'm this way, Brandon. I would have much rather, like if they wind up losing tonight, I would have much rather they miss the playoffs than watch them lose in the damn championship.
Oh,
I hate this feeling.
It's
and
crazy.
Again, this is the same thing that's happening with the Golden Knights, right? Like I am about to have, there is a possibility where I have 2 of the teams that I root for losing the championship within days of each other. That's not fun.
No, not at all. That's actually horrid, I mean, that's
thank you for agreeing with me.
Well, I mean, you don't want to like see one team, but 2 teams lose. That's going to put you in the worst mood in the world.
And I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh yeah, well, forget about that. That's for another. That's for another program right there. Because we know how much garbage they are.
So much garbage.
So much garbage.
All right, Brandon, we are live over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso. They've got a whole bunch of new things that they have here at Buffalo Wild Wings. For me, the red, white, and booze lemonade that they had, the Tito's handmade vodka and lemonade rimmed with that strawberry sugar. It was absolutely delectable the other day whenever we had that, and it looked great too. Like we go back and look at a picture of it. It was amazing.
Beautiful, yeah.
But there's also other specials that they have. Brandon, tell us about those.
Are a lot of specials. So get this, folks. You got the happy hour late night from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, then 9 to 11 every single day. You have your $2 off all tall drafts, $2 off signature cocktails, $3 shorty shots, $5 classic cocktails, and of course $6 appetizers, including your mozzarella sticks, your onion rings, pretzel knots, fried pickles, buffalo chicken dip, hatch queso. Good stuff, man.
Some great stuff. We know we love those apps. The bottomless apps have left us.
Sadly, that means we actually have to just get the shtick, the sampler, and only deal with that.
It's sad. It's one of the saddest days of my life. I've never felt this type of heartbreak before.
I don't know how I'm going to be okay on that.
A little bit later on today, you see me rocking the hat right now, that El Paso Locomotive hat. The El Paso Locomotive will be in action at Southwest University Park, taking on Phoenix Rising FC as well. Phoenix was a team that knocked El Paso out of the playoffs last year. Now the Locomotive looking to get a little bit of revenge on it as well. The one thing that I will tell you about the Locomotive is that they are leading the USL Championship in red cards, which is not a category you want to be leading in.
Yeah.
And they have damn near 3 times the amount of the second place team.
Yes.
Like, we are not just leading in red cards, we are dominating in red cards.
Well, that's how you play football, right? I mean, let's face it. And not only that,
wrong football.
wrong football. They took a page out of Mexico's book, the Mexico-South Africa opening match, where there was 3 red cards. That's unprecedented in a match. And you know what? I guess, you want to be aggressive. You want to be, great at the game. But at the same time, if you're playing with red cards, that means a lot of ejections. And that's never a good thing in soccer because it gives you a distinct disadvantage, right?
Our last home game, we were playing 2 men down. So we only had 9 versus their 11, right? If we had one more ejection, we would have had to forfeit the game according to USL rules, right? One more red card, you got to
Bunch of hotheads, huh?
Yeah, man. It's and again, like, I love it. You're seeing the team play with passion. I will always say that. Play with passion. I love passion much more than I love, just going out there and ho-hum winning and, making it through the season. But you got to get those red cards on your chest.
Yeah,
man.
no, absolutely. You have to play disciplined soccer, and you can't be continuously playing down 1 or 2 guys. And, again, you want to give yourself any edge you can. But if you're at home playing down 2 guys, and good luck there. I mean, that's not going to be a good sight.
And as you know, here on Fire and Ice, Mike Tipton, Brandon the Iceman Cone, huge soccer guys.
Huge.
And one of our favorite events is the World Cup is going on. It did not catch me by surprise at all. The World Cup. We had the opening match, like you said, just 2 days ago with Mexico taking on South Africa. Mexico getting the 2-0 win in Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. Tremendous. There was not a better home field advantage, I believe, in all of sports with that one.
So cool, man. Fans were there 3 hours ahead of time. There was a lot of great stories in that game. I mean, obviously, you had the significant goals that were scored, the defensive, output by Mexico. And I mean, what a beautiful story too. The second goal was scored by a young man that literally his career almost derailed and ended in 2021, where he had a serious injury, and then he ends up coming back to score the second goal in the World Cup, the header, which was tremendous. And I'm telling you what, that was entertaining soccer. That was a good game, that Mexico game. I liked it.
This is always the time that I actually start watching soccer. I mean, other than what my job is.
Sure,
right?
Of course.
But this is the time where, like, I've got it. Like, I start watching soccer because, again, there's something about it's just like the Olympics, right? There's something about having your country on your chest where you're representing that, where you step your game up a little bit more. And even watching yesterday, Canada and Bosnia-Herzegovina taking on each other in that one. Like, that was such a fun matchup. And thinking to yourself, like, oh, okay, like, in some of these matchups too, you got guys that are teammates of one another that are facing off against each other, and it's just great to see that rivalry come out. And then here in El Paso, we've got 2 guys that are from this area that are on Team USA,
and they defeat Paraguay handily. Paraguay, pardon the heck out of me. Jeez, they beat them 3-0 in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. What an offensive output by Team USA! And you know what? Look, we always get excited. I mean, how far is this team going to go? In their group, it's a very winnable group. It really is. I mean, obviously, Turkey, to me, they pose the greatest threat.
Say their name correctly, please.
Turkey. Oh, excuse me.
They have changed it along with Chechnya, the former Czech Republic. It is now Chechnya. Yes.
And Turkey.
Yes.
I'll have a turkey sandwich, please. Thank you.
I mean, that actually makes it sound much better than what it is, right? A little bit of au jus on there.
Can we change that? Don't call me a jus again. But anyways, sorry, I couldn't resist. That was pretty funny. That was good, right?
That was good.
That was very witty. Where the hell was it? Why do you do this to me? Okay,
we were talking about Turkey.
The Aussies.
The
Aussies. I mean, so what do you think? Who poses the Turkey is probably the greatest threat in Group D, right?
Yes, and that's my thing again. I will always lean more towards the European soccer clubs more than anyone else. I think the Australian team obviously loves soccer down in Australia,
of course.
But for me,
you don't say.
Yeah, but for me, Team USA. You have the home field advantage.
Yeah, man.
You were given the most winnable bracket out of Canada and Mexico.
No doubt.
You have to capitalize on this. Going out there once again, stepping on the throat of Paraguay and making sure that you got that big win
South
there.
American team.
Yeah.
Not a great South American football team, but still it's a South American. Football is king in South America. And how great would it be if we saw this team make a 2002 run again, where they make it to the Grade 8 or Elite. I mean, that's not called the Grade 8 in the World Cup, but and now there's more teams in the World Cup, so it's more challenging. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but people out there might not know what happened in 2002 with this World Cup
They
team.
beat Mexico.
Oh, did they?
Yes,
Oh.
and they ended up. I think they beat Mexico, if memory serves, in the knockout stage, and then they ended up losing to the Germans in the final 8. Which Germany, I think I don't know if they won the World Cup that year, or at least made the final. I know they were very good, the Germans.
I know everything that you're talking about. This is not news to me at all.
Because it's funny because I've been watching. You don't know this about me, but I have been watching the World Cup since the early 2000s. I became a fan in the early 2000s, and we would stay up like at 3. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning because the games were in Korea and Japan or something. They were over in Asia, right? So they would start like in the middle of the night here. So we would have cookouts because I was in college, and we would have little cookouts at 2 in the morning and watch the World Cup.
I think that's the thing too. Is like my friend group, whenever I was younger, didn't necessarily care too much about soccer, so we never really watched the World Cup. Like I'm trying, right?
Of course.
You know more than anybody. I'm making an effort to understand this game.
You're holding your own. And how crazy was this place yesterday during that? Or was it yesterday 2 days ago? During that Mexico game.
Oh yeah. Well, that was one of the best things I saw, just, all around the city of El Paso. And again, if you don't understand El Paso geographically, as close to Mexico as you can possibly get.
Stone's throw away.
And just seeing the amount of like Mexico jerseys that people were wearing, just the excitement that everyone had whenever they got that win. We put that game up along with some other games, but we put that game up. That was our first game that we put up on the big screen over at Southwest University Park. So people driving by could at least see a little bit of what was going on.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super fun.
Of course. And again, huge win. Looking forward to their second game here next week. Obviously, Team USA, looking forward to that. I believe it's also at SoFi Stadium, their second game.
Well, we can't call it SoFi anymore.
What is it called? Wi-Fi?
Because of rules, and this is so stupid
that's
to
right.
me.
Just
because of rules with
FIFA,
you have to cover up the logo.
So now it's not Cowboy, it's not AT&T Stadium,
no,
it's Dallas Stadium.
Yes.
So SoFi is LA Stadium?
Yes.
Is it really? Okay,
yes.
I was just guessing, but that's great.
Which is
they should call it Inglewood Stadium.
And that's what I said. Like, it should be called Arlington Stadium.
Inglewood Stadium.
That would be funny.
We're in Inglewood.
Well, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but like the pissing contest between Jersey and New York, it was first called MetLife, right? It was first called New York, New Jersey Stadium.
And now it's just New Jersey Stadium.
And now it's New Jersey, New York Stadium because it's in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
I think the great point was made, assuming the Knicks, happen to shit the bed and lose, and tomorrow, rather today, and then go back for Game 6. Imagine the World Cup in New York at the same time as the NBA Finals, and some schmucks were like, "Oh well, the Giants and the Jets and MetLife Jersey Stadium is in Jersey." Well, dude, it's a friggin' bridge away. Okay, anybody that's been to New York knows that it's literally 20 minutes away from the city. Do you know how many people are going to be jacked up for the World Cup? And friggin' the Knicks, if they happen to go back for a Game 6 at Madison Square Garden.
And we saw it too.
How crazy that's going to be.
Knicks fans are beating up Spurs fans, which, by the way, bad luck, New York.
You get a bunch of assholes. Come on now.
Yeah,
egg and Wemby.
Yeah,
don't egg that guy. Leave him alone. He's a good guy.
He really is. Like, I've been interested to see this like heel turn that Wemby has somehow taken out of nowhere, where just everyone hates him now.
Yeah,
and it's like, Jesus,
I love the guy. I think
cool. Like he's fun to watch.
Yeah,
I'm a Spurs fan, so maybe I'm the wrong
fan,
one.
But I'm just a Wemby fan. I love the guy. And like our buddy, our Chuck Swirsky had mentioned a couple weeks ago that. And when it's all said and done, he could be, one of the greatest of all time. So.
And again, like I feel like that's so unfair to him to like put him in that category, especially this early, because now the expectation with everybody is like, okay, if this guy stays healthy, then he's going to be the next Jordan, LeBron, whatever. Just let him be the best Wemby. Let him be Wemby.
Let Wemby establish his own dominance. Right?
We will never see, just like we'll never see another Jordan, we'll never see another LeBron. No. We will never see another Wemby.
No, he's something else. I mean, the fact that he's so tall and so athletic and able to really play any position.
The fact that he has a 35-inch vertical too. So you're 7'5", you don't need to jump that high. Why are you jumping that high?
It's really tremendous. It's really impressive. It really is, and that's and of course Brazil. Talking about the World Cup, they get underway here in Jersey pretty soon.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, some of the TVs that they have here at Buffalo Wild Wings, once again, you can sit anywhere in Buffalo Wild Wings. You've got a TV that's going to have whatever it is that you want to watch on it. I believe we're watching like some half-court basketball thing going on, or is that dodgeball? That is dodgeball.
Where?
On ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Who doesn't
over
like
there.
dodgeball?
Oh, of course. And then, like, you got golf and stuff like that going on. I do want to mention something, though,
Yes.
Brandon, because I was excited about this. My guy, Pat Costello, producer extraordinaire over at ESPN for the morning show on Sportsmanlike, was able to mention that he's always had a dream of being a caddy. They have the Pro-Am at the Travelers, which is about 20 minutes away from Bristol, and he was actually approached by one of the golfers to be his caddy at this Pro-Am happening over there, man. And it's just so cool to see stuff like that. Like, I'm not a big golf guy. You know me. Like, I've never played an actual course, but I love the damn game.
Oh, it's a hell of a game.
And it's super cool to see something like that.
I think that's amazing. I mean, I think they asked him to be his caddy. I think that's absolutely wonderful. I think that's great. He's going to remember that for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? That's really cool.
Ashley saying that she saw that San Antonio was canceling tickets from non-Texans. Have you heard that? Or is that fake news? Organizations can actually do that because they, like, if you want to try and buy like a resale ticket, which obviously if you have a ticket to the NBA Finals and you're selling it, you're a piece of shit. Just end of discussion. I don't like you. I automatically don't like you. You're the worst. But
you're
the thing
horrible.
the thing is that they do have parameters that the home team can do because they don't want, obviously Knicks fans are going to try to make that out there. They want to, sell out all of San Antonio full of Knicks players. And a thing that's happened recently over the last couple of years is that teams are putting a stop to that and saying resales cannot happen in certain areas. So if you're a Knicks fan, you have to make the trip to Texas first and then hope that you can get that ticket.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And of course, obviously, you're going to want to, give your, local residents and all that the best advantage to get tickets and gobble them up, which are absolutely outrageously priced. I don't know how anybody can afford to go to the finals nowadays. That is beyond crazy. Seriously, like what was the cheapest ticket in Madison Square Garden? $6,000.
Yeah,
so,
and then the courtside ones were like $45,000.
Crazy, dude. I just, and the World Cup tickets the same. I mean, they're outrageous. Like, how can the average fan go to a game nowadays? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. But hey, people are willing to pay. People can afford it, so they do what they're gonna do, right?
The most inexpensive ticket in San Antonio right now. Let me make sure I use the right filter here on it.
Inexpensive ticket. I'm going to say $3,000.
You would be pleasantly surprised.
Less?
Yeah.
$1,500?
$1,044.
Okay. That's
not
terrible, being in, the nosebleeds at
The most expensive one so far, though, is if there is a Game 7. $11,396.
Which again, of course, it's all about relevance and markets and where you are. I mean, San Antonio is not New York, but boy, is that a lot more affordable. I mean, geez, if you're a Knicks fan, you'd be trying your best to get that particular seat, right?
I'm trying to find
$50K.
What the most expensive ticket in San Antonio, and honestly, what would you think the most expensive ticket for today is?
$8K.
5,310.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's courtside seat.
I mean, that's chump change for us as we hang out here at Buffalo Wild Wings.
We can afford that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's actually not bad at all. What a deal that is.
I am again, and this is a big if, huge caveat, if the Spurs can force a Game 7, I am going to do everything I can to go to San Antonio, Frost Bank. I do have a good connection at Frost Bank that might give me a media credential. If I can get a media credential for that, I will be in San Antonio for that. Chihuahuas, I apologize. I know we have a homestand next week, but I was in Alaska. Again, as far away as you can possibly be from Texas. The last time the Spurs won a championship, I celebrated by myself in a dark-ass room, just, me and all my lonesome. So if there's a possibility, and then again, if I can't do that, I will be there for that damn parade.
Oh, I know you will. You don't miss things like that. I've seen. Well, no,
I have missed like victory parades and stuff like that because I wanted to go to Vegas for the Golden Knights one. I just couldn't, work out the logistics. Now I have a job that allows me to kind of, get a little bit more me time, and maybe, just maybe, we go to San Antonio for a couple of days, get that river walk.
I was at the Bulls '97 victory parade.
Dude, that is awesome.
It was incredible at Grant Park, hearing Rodman, Pippen, Jordan, Phil Jackson. There was like 300,000 people there, but I will never forget being there, ever. And I just was like, I'm going.
And that's the thing, like, the parade route in San Antonio is going to be the Riverwalk. So you can just go anywhere on the Riverwalk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good
But
long
imagine
distance.
being at one of the greatest teams in NBA histories
victory.
parade
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Well,
I mean, that
again,
was like amazing, right?
If the Spurs can pull this off,
Of course.
it would be one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history as well. And like I said, turnabout is fair play.
It's still like I said, the fact is you got the game at home tonight. We'll see one step at a time, man. One step at a time.
We'll see. And I am so sad and mad at myself that I have to work.
Well, I'll be texting you updates.
Well, I mean, we will have that game on throughout the stadium
Good.
as well.
Thank God.
So we got to make sure that that's there for me.
You have to watch it. You're
Yeah, you
such
have
a
to.
fan. You will. You'll
There's-
see what's going
There's
on.
no way.
I believe in you.
I've got to make it happen.
I believe in you. You
Even
will.
if it's on my phone, I'll
you'll be checking. You'll be going. You take a lot of restroom breaks.
I did have to mute my phone the other day because I was watching on Hulu.
Sorry.
I was watching on Hulu, and I was like, holy shit, man. Like, I'm maybe 30 seconds behind everyone else, just, how the streaming and all that goes. All my friends are sending me updates like, oh, my God, what a shot. And
that
they'll be like,
sucks,
oh,
dude.
so I just muted my phone that day.
Yeah, because they're going to ruin everything.
Yep.
Well, of course, they would have also, given you the pleasant surprise that your team lost early.
Oh, my God,
Screw
yeah.
you, man.
I wouldn't have to watch the last 30 seconds of the game,
Oh, man.
which I probably shouldn't have because it just made me so mad.
I know. I'm sorry. I felt bad for you for a minute, but then I was like, they'll be fine.
And again, like
He'll be all right.
I am used to this from the Dallas Cowboys. I am used to this
but
from
not
the New York Yankees.
Spurs, not the Spurs.
The Spurs to do this to me, it just
Yeah,
felt
they-
wrong.
They broke your heart, but
It did.
hey, man, be confident about tonight. Believe
I
in
am.
yourself.
I am very confident.
I
I am
believe
confident.
in you. I believe in you.
I am confident that either New York or San Antonio will win this game tonight.
Well, that's a very good prediction there. You
Thank you.
really went all out on
Thank you.
that one,
Yeah,
didn't you?
Tipstradamus.
Yeah, Tixter dumbass. You mean?
Once again, everybody, we are live over here at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. Mike Tipton, Brandon the Iceman Cone. Again, some of the best wings that you can get in the city of El Paso. I know it's a chain, and a lot of people are like, Mike,
They're good
it's
wings.
a chain. It's really damn good
They're
wings.
Good wings.
All the flavors, all that stuff that we've got working with us as well. I know what I'm going to be getting here in just a little bit. Brandon, tell everybody about some of the specials we got one more time.
Happy hour, late night. That's 3 to 6 p.m. daily, and then 9 to 11 every evening. $2 off all tall drafts. $2 off signature cocktails. $3 shorty shots. $5 classic cocktails, and $6 appetizers. A plethora of appetizers: buffalo chicken dip, fried pickles, hatch queso, bacon, cheddar, jumbo tots, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and pretzel knots. Oy vey.
You can hear his mouth watering from all the way over here, which means it's time for us to make sure that we go get some of that food for us as well. Everybody, once again, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. Brandon, as always, I got nothing but love for you, my guy.
Likewise, my brother.
We will
Love you
be
too, buddy.
back as well. I know you got a vacation coming up.
Yes.
What are the days that we're not going to be doing a show?
So let's see. We're going to be missing from the 27th on for the next few weeks after that. So
Okay.
27th.
Because we're not going to do a 4th of July
yeah,
show.
So 27th,
Yeah.
11th, and 18th. I'll come back on the 20th.
Oh, look at that. Brandon
Yeah, I
gone
know.
for a whole ass
Well,
month.
I apologize, but
No.
don't worry. I'll be back.
He will be back.
Hawaii, here we come soon.
Oh, this guy just bragging about where he's going. I love you, buddy. We'll talk to y'all
Love
later.
you too, brother.